History will be made tonight as the Seattle Kraken face off in their first playoff game in franchise history. They're taking on the Colorado Avalanche, the defending Stanley Cup champs, in a best-of-7 series.
Yeah, and to celebrate, the team is hosting official watch parties at 32 Bar and Grill in Northgate, as well as the Queen Anne Beer Hall. And this morning, our own Aaron Levine joins us live in Denver to preview what it's going to take for the Kraken to make a deep run into the playoffs here, Aaron.
Yeah, a lot of wins is what it's going to take, guys, but it's really hard to believe that just over 18 months ago, 554 days ago to be exact, we were in Las Vegas to witness history, the Kraken's first ever NHL game. And today, it's all led to this, the morning of the first ever NHL playoff game in Kraken franchise history against the Avs. And I'll say this, yes, the Kraken might be big underdogs in this best-of-7 series against Colorado, the defending Stanley Cup champions. But they've also beaten the Avs 2 out of 3 times this season, both times here at Ball Arena. Colorado might be at full health. They might have 2 players with more than 100 points this season. They might have the top defenseman in the league and one of the better goaltenders in the league. But when it comes to 5-on-5 hockey, Seattle's one of the top scoring teams in the league. They have depth. The Kraken have 6 players with at least 20 goals this season. No other team has more than that. And that was the message from head coach Dave Haxtell all weekend long. They're not going to try and reinvent the wheel during the playoffs. They believe they already have what it takes.
We don't have to change a whole lot. We got to be the best version of ourselves. There's not a whole lot that we're going to change. You're not going to change who you are at this time of year. You have to be really good at what you do, and you got to do it for the entire hockey game. And regardless of the result of that night's game, you got to quickly turn the page, flip the switch, and move on to the next one. And our group has been pretty good at that. We've been pretty efficient in being able to do that from one night to the next.
And that's what we have to remember. This is a long series. A lot will happen between now and the time that a team wins 4 games to move on to the second round. Now, speaking of which, the winner of this series will face the winner of Minnesota and Dallas, and what a game 1 that was last night. A reminder of how intense and exciting playoff hockey can be. That one went to double overtime. In fact, both games in the Western Conference going to an extra session. The Kings beating Edmonton in single overtime. But I want to go back to what happened in that Stars game. Joe Pavelski got absolutely hammered. Now, some will call it a cheap shot. Others will say it's just playoff hockey. Pavelski did not return. He's one of their best players. But the point is, there was a big skirmish after that hit. Both sides getting into it. You'll see a lot of this kind of stuff in a 7-game playoff series. When you play the same team over and over again, the bad blood can grow as the series wears on. So that's something to keep in mind as this series progresses. Game 1, of course, tonight at 8 o'clock here at Ball Arena, local time. That's Mountain Time, so 7 o'clock back in Seattle. They also have these white palms on every seat inside the arena, so it will essentially feel like a whiteout as the Kraken are the away team in this game. Game 1 tonight, Game 2 on Thursday night. We'll have much more coming up at 8 o'clock, but I'll also say this. The team has their morning skate at 11:30. We'll hear from head coach Dave Haxtell and the players and have more for you later this afternoon. Guys?
So what is the overall mood in Denver? I'm kind of curious how they view the Kraken coming in their very first playoff game in franchise history.
I'm not sure they're really worried about the Kraken. They are worried about the Avs. They are the defending Stanley Cup champs, but it is essentially playoff fever in Denver right now because you also have the Denver Nuggets who play inside this arena as well. In fact, the Nuggets are playing tomorrow night. So you see the Zamboni behind me. They're going to be converting this arena from hockey to basketball and then back to hockey the next 3 days.
Interesting. Aaron Levine live in Denver. We'll check back with you a bit later. Thanks.